Hello, 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 my lovely, lovely year threes. Welcome to the third part of our final project. And our final challenge is to make our automata. So in our last lesson, we made all the moving parts, including the axle and the cam, the follower. There you go, we can take that bit of tape off now because that's nice and dry. We left it overnight. There's our follower, and that's the foot of the follower, which will go onto the cam wheel. We made our little bits to make sure that our cam is nice and snug in there, and we glued it all down with PVA glue. And then we've got our little slide, which is the round bit there, and we've got our frame we made in lesson 1. So we're going to be putting these all together in this lesson, and we're going to then be decorating it in the Celtic style. And remember, we're making an animal, a dancing Celtic animal. So I've made all these little worksheets and cards for you, which you can cut out and use. These are animals that they would have recognised in Iron Age Britons, such as a wild boar, and then we've got a dog here, and we've got a raven. This is a type of cattle they would have had, and we've got a pig here. And an animal that they wouldn't have recognised would be this one here, which is a cat, because cats were brought over by the Romans when they came to Britain, which is, you'll be learning about next year. They're actually after the Iron Age people. They brought cats and introduced them to Britain. But we're going to imagine that we've brought cats with us as ancient Egyptian traders, bringing our lovely cams and automata. Well, we'll also bring cats, because cats developed first of all over in Egypt and Mesopotamia, where the first wheels were created, because they were brilliant and really useful for chasing away rats and mice, to stop them stealing all that lovely stored grain of those early Bronze Age farmers. Right, back to the Iron Age. So we've got all these Celtic designs to help you. You'll also need things like pencil and a marker pen for doing drawing and things like that. You'll need some double-sided tape. That will be really useful. You'll need some of your sellotape on a tape dispenser. You might also want some Pritt stick and PVA glue, something like that. But let's put our work together now, and then we can get it decorated. So let's have a look what we got to do here. We've got here all of our mechanical parts ready to put together to make the moving parts of our automata. They're nice and dry from yesterday. And now we've got our frame as well. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to slide all this together first of all, so then it's all ready for us to decorate. So the first thing we want to add to our frame is the axle and the cam. We're going to slot that in. If we just have a look in a moment here, here's the frame. Do you remember we made those 2 slits either side of the holes? And that's where we slide in our axle. And we can see also that those tubes that we put in are stopping that axle from sliding out again, and it's keeping the cam in position there. We want it to stay in the middle, and we don't want it to wobble about. Also notice how near the bottom of the cam is to the bottom of your frame. We measured it really carefully. Do you remember we made that cam out of a 7-centimetre square piece of card, which we cut down? Well, if it was much bigger than that, it wouldn't spin round. So if you make a bigger box, you can have a bigger cam. So now we're going to insert the follower into the hole there, and you can see that the foot of the follower, the bottom square bit, is going to rest on the cam nicely there. But it's not going to work, it's going to wiggle around like that. So this is why you need to have the slider. We made the extra tube to be the slider, and we're going to put that in position. If we just look at our models that we made last half term, we can see there's the follower and the slide and the cam. So this is our follower. That's keeping the slide in the right position so it stays over the cam. And so we just need to secure that to the top of our frame. And we're just doing it the same as we did before. A little bit of tape on the tube, and then follow that tape down onto the frame. And I'm putting 4 or 5 pieces on here, making it really secure. Again, if you had a glue gun, you might want to use a glue gun, but I suggest you have a go with the tape because it's good to learn those skills. There we go, that's nice and secure. That's our follower in place and our slider in place. Excellent. Now when we move it, it doesn't wobble about, it just moves nicely on the cam. So let's just have a look at that from a different angle. You can see there that when we turn the axle, the cam spins round and round. It lifts up the foot of the follower up and down it goes through the slide, and that is what's going to create the motion of our dancing animal. So now it's time to make our dancing animal. You need to choose one of these postcards of the Iron Age animals that I've made for you. These are ones that Iron Age Britons would know. I'm going to do the bear, I think. So you could start off by colouring all that in. You can make it look really nice. You could use felt tip pens, you can use pencils, you could do it all one colour, two colours, or even multicoloured. Remember, you want to make it look attractive for those Iron Age people that we're trying to trade with. So colour in, or I'm just going to leave mine blank for the moment because I want to show you how to cut them out, because this is important. When you cut them out, you'll go all the way round both of the animals, and you can see that they're joined together at the middle. Okay, if we cut that out, we want to make sure we don't cut them apart. We want to keep them joined together. So at the end, we can fold them together, and that means we have an animal on one side and an animal on the other side. So when it spins round, we can see an animal all the time. So to attach that, what we need to do is get a bit of double-sided tape. We open up our animal so it's nice and open there. We're going to get a bit of the double-sided tape, which you can rip or cut, and lay it inside of your animal there, because we are going to stick it onto the follower. So we just peel that off, and then we line that up, stick it onto the follower, and then fold it over to make a little animal sandwich with that follower nicely inside. So we can see there we've got our animal on, and then we can start decorating the outside of our frame. Now, I made some little cardboard pieces. I copied these bits onto some cardboard using the marker pen, which you might want to do, or you might want to cut out some of these, which you could again add some colour to if you want to decorate them like that. And you can cut them out, and then you can stick them on the outside of your frame, making it as lovely and attractive for those Iron Age Britons as we can. So what we can do there, you see, we could sort of like have it hanging over, use the double-sided tape. You might also want to use a bit of Pritt stick if you've got some Pritt stick. So get these cut out, or draw some onto bits of scrap card. However you want to do it, that's fine. I'm doing this on some scrap card here, copying some of those designs, which I can then cut out and stick on my box. But I'm also going to do some colouring of these Celtic patterns here, using similar colours that I've decorated my bear with, and then I'm going to stick those on. So I'm doing some in black and white, I'm doing some in colour. You just decide what you want to do and make it look good. You're just getting your decoration on now, using lots of lovely Pritt stick or double-sided tape. And there we have it, a finished dancing animal automata, which is sure to delight many, many Celtic Iron Age Britons who will be desperate to trade with you. The next one I made, I kept a little more simpler. I didn't use any colour at all, just some black marker pen on cardboard for this one. And I kept the animal, I think it's a dancing pig, this one. I kept it just simply in black and white, and you can do that if you prefer. So get your automatas finished, your dancing animal automatas. Have a look at each other's works and decide whose would have got the best trade from those Iron Age Britons, who would have got 10 swords for their lovely dancing animal. I hope you've enjoyed the project, everyone. Bye-bye for now. Bye. Bye.